So it is that time of year again where people are getting ready to rush the sororities and fraternities. And I thought I would talk about what my experience was back in my day. And also, I am from the Midwest and I'm also from a smaller town. So we didn't even have a house. It was actually illegal for sororities and fraternities to have a house because it was illegal for anyone to have more than 6 people of the same sex in my hometown. I'm not even kidding you. It wasn't even legal at that point, you guys. And also, there was only one sorority and one fraternity when I first rushed. However, by the end of my sorority process, like by the end of, like almost by the time I graduated, it was a lot different. And also, there was more fraternities on campus, and we were also in the process of getting another sorority. So they were trying to really add more Greek life, which is nice because we didn't have a lot of people that we could get in the sorority. So there was only like a few seats available every semester, and we only had like 50, 60 people per, like in our entire sorority, which is a lot smaller than like some bigger sororities. But we didn't have the capacity like with our, because we had meetings in like a certain room on campus, and we couldn't even fit that many people. But if we had a house, we'd have more room. But I'm just telling you, we had to deal with what we dealt with. And also, our campus on general was just a little bit smaller. But there was only one sorority and one fraternity when I first started. And I'm going to tell you exactly what it was like. And Rush Week was actually kind of like what I've seen on like with Bama Rush Talk. However, a lot less stressful in my opinion. However, that was personally for me because I wasn't super attached to getting into a sorority or thinking that that was for me. I don't know about you guys, but like I didn't dream about getting in a sorority. It just kind of happened. I never saw myself doing it, to be honest with you, but I did make a lot of really amazing friends, and we did a lot of volunteer work. Actually, that is one reason why I did it, because this sorority was really involved in volunteer work, and they were known for volunteering, not for social work, if that makes sense, because there's some that are more for social, but you can get both, if that makes sense. There's still requirements for both sides, because like you also had certain requirements. You had to feel like you had to have a certain GPA too, just letting you know, guys. So they're trying to keep you in line, if that makes sense. It's almost like going to work together, but like friendly, if that makes sense. But also not always friendly. So just keep that in mind when you're dealing with people, because you never know who you can trust. Yeah, that's also true too. But yeah, 99% of people were really nice. You're not going to get along with everyone though, right? But there was a handful that were not that nice, and especially during dealing with new rushies and stuff, like I would hear them say some things. I'd have to be like, hey, don't be mean. I don't care if you don't want them, but you don't have to be mean unless if it's warranted, which is rare for me to allow that. Yeah, it's usually just cattiness. But I've got like a million stories from my experience from the sorority. And also I'm going to tell you too, I also started as the volunteer chair when I started as in the sorority, which I love that. That was my favorite job, but it was not an exec board position. But once I became an exec board, I was actually the treasurer. So I was in charge of like the budget. There was a bunch of stuff, dues, anything, payment plans, charging people. Oh yeah, I had to charge people fines. There was a lot of dumb fines. I even was fined once, okay? I'm telling you, there's a lot of really dumb rules that you wouldn't even know are rules. So unless if you're reading the fine print of your contract, which you probably won't, just saying. Unless if you're like an attorney or future attorney, maybe. But I'm just telling you, as someone who was in it. Like, my first time, I remember it now, it was actually, I had one of my friends wearing my sorority letters, and that's a no. Also, you can't wear your sorority letters to a bar. That's obvious. Like, I think that's kind of obvious. Kind of like wearing your work shirt to a bar. You know what I mean? But I'm telling you, if you did that, you should probably just have something to cover up with where you can't see the letters. But not telling you to do that. I'm just saying, if you want to get around it. But if you have no choice. But I'm saying, like, the only reason I got caught for that one thing, I didn't even know it was a rule. But my friend was wearing the shirt of mine, and I didn't know it was a rule. And I forgot it at her house, and she had posted a picture with it. And they were mutual friends. And they saw it. They saw it in my tag photos. Anyway, oops. But whatever. That's a dumb thing to get fined for. Anyway, there's a lot of reasons you can get fined for. Just saying. So you probably have done something you can get fined or will get fined. And also there's also a million reasons they will ask you to take down posts too. Like I'm so glad that TikTok wasn't even around when I was in the sorority. It wasn't even around. Like, it was after I graduated, like in 2016, later that year. And I'm glad I didn't, because I already had a lot of posts I had to take down. And it wasn't like you get fined. I shouldn't say you never get fined for that, but like, it's not as common because a lot of sorority sisters have issues where they're like, oh yeah, take this down. But it's usually like, there was even occasions where something would happen, like drama would happen, and we'd have to take something down. Like, there was a party that almost, oh yeah, I've already shared the story, but it was actually on my TikTok, so I'm going to share it here. There was one of our sorority sisters who called in a event that we had to go to for our new rushies, and it was a party. Okay, you had to be there, right? Unless if you had some excuse because it was tradition, right? And this one girl called into the police on us saying that we had a party, and she was trying to get us busted. And I don't know how we found out, but we found out it was this one girl, right? But we didn't have enough evidence to even say anything to her or fine her or whatever, get rid of her, sadly. But we all knew it was this girl, right? I don't even remember how we found that out. But anyway, at that point, we were like, that's insane. But what had to happen was we all had to remove those photos from the party. And also, I'm really sad about it because it was an anything but clothes party, and I had the most gorgeous outfit on. And I can't, actually, I'm going to try and find it because I think I have it somewhere in my like save photos from like a really long time ago, like on Facebook, like, or like even on like my Instagram, like archived, because this outfit I made was the cutest thing. And everyone told me it was the cutest thing I've ever seen. And yeah, I actually had like bows as a skirt. It was so cute, you guys. And it was so cute. And you want to know what I also did too? I kind of cheated. So I went to like a really cheap store and I bought a dress where I liked the shape of it. And I just like molded the bows to the dress, right? So actually, I'm going to tell you something funny about this outfit too. You want to know if my sorority sisters had to cut me out of this dress because I super glued the bows to the dress and it wouldn't come off. Yeah, okay. It was really cute though. I almost didn't make it out of that dress. Oopsies. Cute. Anyway, it was really cute. If I find it, I will let you know and add it to another video, but I don't think it'll be easy, and I guarantee it won't be in this video. Oh, also, you guys, I forgot to say, I'm also wearing my letters right now. So, yeah, I was a Zeta, and yeah. So, once you actually got in a rush, oh yeah, so I'm gonna tell you more about like rush week too. So, it was actually very normal in terms of like Bama rush week. So, I've seen a lot of that correlate in terms of how long it was and what exactly, like the same sister events. And yeah, that was a lot of fun too. But once you actually finished the week, they had a bid day and the girls would go around campus with little cards if you got in and deliver it to you. And also, I'm going to say this to you, do you want to know something funny? You guys let me know what it was like for you guys because it was completely different. And also, I was from the Midwest and like not an SEC school. There was a whole bunch of reasons why that it might be different. Every store is a little different too, and Frat. But I'm telling you from my experience, and they were trying to play a prank on me and say that I wasn't getting in. So they waited until the last second to give me my bid on purpose. So, and I was like, you know what? I wouldn't have even cared if I got it or not, you know, because I wasn't like, my heart wasn't like, oh, I need to be in a sorority. I always wanted to since day one. That's not how I was ever. But my sister was in the same sorority too. And also my dad was in a fraternity in college, but it was for engineering at UW-Madison. It was Triangle. So it was not social or like volunteer work. It was just for education, right? However, yeah, also there was drama because they thought when I was rushing that I was technically a legacy because my sister was also one of the sisters, but technically, I'm going to let you know, so that can be an issue too, because like there's a lot of drama behind the scenes. They're like, oh yeah, like this girl only got it because she's a legacy, blah, 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 whatever. They're going to throw her on that word, just letting you know. If you have anyone in your sorority, in your family, or like family lineage, they're going to bring it up. But I'm going to let you know too, every sorority is different, and even if you have someone in the sorority that was like a family member, it does not mean you're gonna get in. Just letting you know. There may be a reason why you won't. Just saying. It's not like a for sure yes. It's more likely though. But Doesn't mean anything at all. They don't have to do anything, respectfully. But in returns of legacy, it's more, so they had to they had to pull out basically their sorority Bible and look and see what it said. And it said that a legacy is someone who is following a family member who has already graduated, which was not the case. So it did not count. So I got in fair and square. They had to vote on me like a normal person. Normally, I was not part of the rule, if that makes sense, but everyone still thought it because I get it though, it's kind of complicated. Anyway, but once I got a bid, we had to do, okay, by the way too, just because you get a bid means nothing, okay? You can literally even go through the entire process and not get in, okay? Just letting you know. That's a thing. I know it sounds scary, but it's true. I have to tell you the truth, at least for my sorority. It was very rare, but I'm telling you it's a thing, okay? And also, the one good thing is we had rushers who were very responsible and they tried very hard to weed out people they didn't think would be a good fit, or even the same with sorority sisters. But it's okay to be respectful. But I'm just someone who cares about people respecting others, even if they're not a fit for us, totally fine, or whatever. But if they're respectful, I'll be respectful back. So I don't have a problem with that. But I'm just telling you, we've seen a lot of weird things. And there was a lot of instances where people just someone nodded because of a boy or something really dumb. Really dumb. Not even anything worth your while. And I'm like, we literally have this in our story as a problem right now. It's not even a problem. This is something very normal with girls. Men, frat boys. It's not anything major. It's usually not anything major at all. The drama. So, yeah. There was some dumb reasons where there was a lot of dumb reasons people didn't want to let someone in. One time I got mad at someone because they're like, oh yeah, she works at Hooters. I don't want her in her story. That's just a waitress. She's literally making money to pay for college. What's the problem with that? Maybe it's not your career that you want to do. Why are we talking about it? Why are we saying that's the reason she can't be in it? It's just a way to make money. She's not wearing her letters there. I don't know why that was a problem. It wasn't like she was stripping. Even if she was, she probably wouldn't tell us. You know what I mean? No one would say that when they're rushing a sorority. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that's not something I want to put on a resume. But I'm just saying, college is expensive, and it is even more expensive nowadays with the new restrictions, with FAFSA and the grants be taken away. Oh yeah, I have to say that. That's horrifying. Horrifying. Because I was even a FAFSA kid. I never was qualified for Pell Grant. I also was technically not supposed to get FAFSA because I was actually rejected. My sister didn't even get it. So, because of our family. But I basically got it on, I was basically a gray area, and I went in and complained, and they knew me personally about it. So they had my file, they literally had to submit it every year that I would get the bare minimum because my dad passed away. So I was the only one who got any sort of finance, or not, FAFSA, I should say. So my sister got rejected. And I got rejected the first time too until I went in and talked to them. But the student aid office also was really helpful. Yeah. But also, did you know that you could do that? You can go into the student aid office and say your case. They don't even have to do anything. But if you're polite and say, sometimes they'll let you. Just letting you know. I mean, my situation was very unique. But, yeah. It was nothing, though. Literally nothing. Pocket change. They gave me, literally. But, yeah. Anyway, I just took whatever I got and then paid the rest. Yeah. So, yeah, I didn't have any private school. My sister does, though. Oh, yeah, I feel her sister. She's got horrible. She went to law school to see worse. Anyway, I'm sorry I'm battling you guys. But anyway, go back to the sorority stuff. I have to say, too, when it comes to sororities, there was multiple times where I really loved it. And there was a lot of times I really wanted to drop. Literally, when I graduated, I was done. Literally so done. There was a lot of drama at that point. And I was also going a lot of drama with a boyfriend. Because we kept breaking up and making up a million times. And he wanted to marry me and whatever, and really loved me, but it didn't work out. And he was telling people he wanted to marry me, whatever, and move in. His family wanted to do the same. But he would do one thing one week and then do the exact opposite the next week, and it never changed. Never changed. So I got tired of it and eventually just had to block him. Anyway. But I had no choice, sadly. So, yeah. Just be careful if you want to date frat boys, because I swear it's even less likely to marry one than your high school sweetheart. I only know like 1 or 2 people who it actually worked out. I'm not even kidding. Not even kidding. Sadly. So I think they take a longer time to mature. Not always the case though. So that's also have to say too. I have met certain sorority sisters who are the same way or worse. Just letting you know. Not as often though, personally. But just be careful. Be careful, because you never know what you're getting into. And when I started dating this other frat guy, because he was really attractive, right? I didn't even know that this man, okay, yeah, if you want to date a frat boy, I'm also letting you know, it's like, I guarantee you they have messed around with or dated someone in your sorority, if not more than 1 people, before you. Because I found that out when we started a date. Like, there was like 3 other people before me, and my sorority was really awkward when we would go to meetings. And I probably wouldn't have dated him if I didn't know it. Anyway, do you guys have any more questions about sorority stuff? Also, I love the Darnell sisters too. What sorority do you think Izzy's gonna get into? Because I honestly think she could do Zeta because she got her sister in it, but also, you wanna know what I know? I think they're polar opposite sisters. So I think she could surprise us, but she could definitely do Zeta. If she doesn't do it, I think she can, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like they're so different that they could go opposite. What do you think?